Namaste. This is Prakash here. In our public life, in our personal life, and in the pursuit even of our spiritual goals, interaction with other human beings is something that we cannot really avoid. More than avoiding, these interactions gives us a chance to influence people. One of the attributes of a good leader is one who is able to influence people so that what is good for them is given to them in a way in which they would accept and move forward. The people who follow you are always in majority, you are in minority. The only power that you have is your power of influence. What you think, what you feel, how you do things are immaterial to many other people. The only thing that comes through is the way in which you finally communicate. And one of the biggest communication tool is the words that you choose to use. The words can make or kill a person's morale, motivation, spirit, and your ability to influence them to choose a specific path. However good you are as a leader, however good-hearted, it's very difficult for people to look through all this. The only thing that they really look is the words and how you deliver them. It is just not the choice of words. I can say, I love you. It may not really mean anything to them. I need to say it where the words, my tone, and my body language matches. That's why in the ancient tradition, Indian literature, when people asked the gurus of those days, what should you speak? So they said, Satyam Buryat, means speak the truth. And then people went around speaking the truth. They all got either rebuked or even somebody got into physical assault because people did not like what they spoke. So when they came back and asked the gurus, you said speak the truth. It didn't seem to work. Then the guru said, we wanted you to experience what it is to speak the truth. Whether in those days or in these days, there is nothing known as an absolute fact. Facts are always relative. For example, you may say that the sun rises at 6 a.m. Somebody will come and say that sun doesn't rise, it stays the same. Someone else will come and say that sun, it's not a sun, it is just a star in the constellation. So it can keep on varying. But finally what happens is, there are no facts, there are only perceived facts. What I perceive to be a fact today is a fact for me. Tomorrow when that perception changes, the fact changes for me. For you it may remain the same. And hence, the elders said, one of the best way to influence is just not say the truth, not just Satyam Buryat. Then they added a rider to make it more powerful. They said Priyam Buryat. Say the truth, but say it lovingly. This is exactly what Lalaji Maharaj has brought out in his principles of conversation. He understood the importance that there is no point in you alone changing. There is no point in you alone following a path which will take you to the goal. But to inspire and influence people who also should follow the same path to the goal, he gave a set of conversations, principles, which really makes it very easy for you to sort of put it in a way in which people will find it very easy to accept. One of the first point he said is, a civil tongue is a prerequisite to achieve the goal of human life. Because when we are harsh on ourselves, when we are harsh on others, it's really difficult for people to really like what you are saying. Hence, a civil tongue, civility, what is acceptable, what is accepted, what is considered as etiquette, what is considered as basic common sense, how to say things, how to package things in such a way. For example, I give you one of the best gifts. one of the most expensive gifts in the world, but I package it in a paper which is really lousy, which is really nauseating, very smelly, very dirty. Would you ever open it? In spite of you maybe knowing, maybe not knowing that there is one of the best gifts which is available inside. In all probability, you will judge the gift by how it is packaged, and hence you are likely to discard it without even opening. The same way, the message here is what is the gift inside is, and how it is packed in a piece of paper which can stop a person from opening are the words and the corresponding body language that goes with the words which you use. And hence Lalaji Maharaj said, a civil tongue is a prerequisite. He goes on to say, a cultured tongue rules the kingdom of the heart. If there is no culture, culture can also be taken as a set of values, basic human values where I respect everyone else as the same, irrespective of the caste, creed, religion, sex, their status, whether you are rich or poor, whether you are learned or a fool, whatever. A cultured tongue rules the kingdom of the heart. That is the only thing which influences people. Look at any of the great leaders in the world. Look at any of our own gurus. How they package, how they present to suit the person, to suit the occasion. And that is a reflection of what flows from the heart, not what flows from their mind. That is a cultured tongue. He also goes on to say a polished tongue in discourse or conversation influences humanity and reigns supreme. A polished tongue in discourse of conversation. He is very clear. When you are interacting with the people, when you are talking, when you are presenting something, it is a polished tongue. Even when we go to a shop to buy, we look for a little bit of glamour. Polished rice sells more than raw rice in this world. What is polished is presentable. And that is something which, why do we all go through this struggle? Somebody may be thinking, isn't it sufficient to tell the truth straight on the face? When the truth is said on the face, even if the recipient knows that you are saying the truth, there is a filter through which they are seeing the entire transaction, and that filter is known as the ego. When that ego is hurt, in all probability, what happens is they are missing the message, what you are saying. You are saying something really good for them, but they miss out because their ego says so. And the only way to take care of the ego is to butter it, as they say in English. Make it in a way in which the ego does not come as a filter between you and what you want to share, which is good for the other person. The doctor says this medicine is good for you, but if he says it lovingly, I know of one of my friend who went through a course for almost 1 year in a foreign university. He is from the medical profession, and all he did was to go through a course where they were taught how to listen. They were taught how to communicate to patients. They were communicate to the people who come along with the patients. Because finally, people don't know the surgery that you do or the medicines you give, but they only go with the words because they are not technically competent. The same is true for a person who is coming for the first time, who is a spiritual aspirant. He really may not know what is pranahuti. He may not know what is cleaning. He may not know what is prayer. He may not know what is heartfulness practice or any other form of practice that you want to share with them. All that they know is how you talk, how you present. The product that you want to give them is actually not the product. You are the product. The way in which you package yourself, the way in which you present. That's why even Daji says even dressing makes a lot of sense, because dressing is part of the package. When they look at the dress, they look at the words that you use, they look at your face, they look at the smile that you have, a real smile, not an artificial smile. They know that the product that you represent, the service that you represent has to be good. This is true even for a salesman. This is true even for a businessman. This is true for every professional. Finally, you may ask a question. Do I have to act? Do I have to really act to convey something? Let us put it this way. What makes you think you are acting? It is your ego again. If you are a salesman, if you are in business, if you are in a profession offering a service which needs to be accepted by all, Is it your ego of acting or not acting more important? Or is it how you package so that more people benefit, which is more important? When you place self above others, acting or not acting, those kind of concepts and questions cloud your mind. When you place others' interest, look at any of the great masters who have gone through this world. They have taken so much of pain, so much of suffering. They continue to take. Why do they do it? Having attained their goal, they can just pack themselves up, go to Himalayas, go to a forest, or just be in their home. They've already attained it. Why are they coming after you to offer? Why are they being so patient, and why are they being so loving and caring with you in a true sense, not just acting? It is because that they want you to benefit. And when they want you to benefit, your personal choice, your personal anger, your personal packaging or not packaging does not or should not come into the way. He also says, Lalaji Maharaj also says, anger is a poison for spirituality. Unless one is free from this plague, moderation can never be attained. It also says it allows the free and subtle current to be stopped from entering. When you are angry, when you say that I am right and others are wrong, it stops the subtle current, which is nothing but the transmission from the heart of the master to enter your heart. And you need to moderate. As Babaji Maharaj has said, it's not possible to get rid of anger or krodh as it's called, but you can moderate. Anger is an energy. When you channelize that energy into a positive thing, everyone else around you will benefit. My anger says people have to accept what I am saying, and then I throw tantrums. What happens? I get more and more enemies. I make more people to not accept what I am saying. Let me channelize the energy. Someone is challenging me and not accepting what I am sharing. Hence, now I need to channelize my anger into something more positive. I'll prove to the world that my anger is not my enemy, but my anger is something which will help them to be motivated to move forward towards the goal of the life. It's all about energy management. Anger being energy, if you know how to channelize. And that's where the principles of conversation of Lalaji Maharaj, or what the elders said, Satyam Buriyat, Priyam Buriyat, also comes in. Lalaji Maharaj also gives a beautiful hint in the principles of conversation. He says to overcome anger, act as if you are polite and humble. Think that you are polite and humble, and maybe if needed, put up an act. Initially, in English behavioral science, there is a famous word which says, fake it till you make it. Initially, think to be polite and humble. Finally, it is all how you condition your mind. And conditioning of the mind comes through a process of continuous meditation. When you are good-hearted, you also have to learn how to package things so that you become a leader who people would love to listen to. When you say something, because you say it smilingly, because you say it lovingly, because you say it caringly, they look at the message. If you package it in any other way, in all probability, the best of the message for the humanity, whether it is on the personal, professional, business, or spiritual front, tends to get lost. Think about it. Thank you.